Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happenings today. This year, 2022, is going to be filled with so much drama. It has started on high as a lot is happening right now. Nigerian youth are lamenting, things are happening, and it looks like this is just preamble. This is just the beginning. More things are coming up. Don't forget that in 2021, the presidency, the federal government had assured Nigerians that a lot of things will change and unfold. There will be removal of subsidy. Of course, NLC started clamoring and saying that if they ever do that, they're going to shut down the nation on national strike and all that. It looks like the federal government still have a lot under their sleeves to deliver for Nigerians. Honestly, Nigerians, better wear your shock absorber because this year is going to feel a lot of shocks. Before we go into the newspaper to find out exactly what the FG have in stock for Nigerians too, would like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. Where the federal government has introduced an excise duty of 10 naira per litre on all non-alcoholic carbonated and sweetened beverages. Excise duty is a form of tax imposed on the production, licensing, and sale of goods. What the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, said this during the public presentation of the 2022 budget on Wednesday in Abuja. According to her, the new policy introduced is in the Finance Act signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari on December 31st, 2021. She said, and I quote, "There's now an excise duty of 10 naira per litre imposed on all non-alcoholic and sweetened beverages, and this is to discourage excessive consumption of sugar in beverages, which contribute to a number of health conditions, including diabetes and obesity. But it is also used to raise excise duties and revenues for health-related and other critical expenditures. This is in line also with the 2022 budget priorities." Also, Ahmed said, and I quote, that the government had introduced a law requiring foreign companies providing digital services in the country to collect and remit value-added tax to the Federal Inland Revenue Service. According to her, the new policy is also contained in Section 30 of the Finance Act, which amended the provisions of Section 10, 31, and 14 on VAT obligations for non-resident digital companies. The minister said, and I quote, "Section 30 of the Finance Act is designed to amend Section 10, 31, and 14 of VAT, which is in relation to VAT obligations for non-resident digital companies, and the mechanism that will be used is to restrict VAT obligations mainly to digital non-resident companies who supply individuals in Nigeria who can themselves self-account for VAT." So she now started mentioning, it says, you know, one further today. However, for clarification, the minister said that new law applies to foreign companies that provide digital services such as apps, high-frequency trading, and amongst others. But however, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, M-A-N, and economic experts have warned that new tax imposed on carbonated drinks will be counterproductive. MAN had commissioned a report detailing the effect of reintroducing excise duty on carbonated drinks and warned that it would be counterproductive and lead to revenue loss for the government. The report, titled "Key Considerations Against Excise on Non-Alcoholic Beverages," projected that the government might collect 81 billion naira revenue from excise duty on carbonated drinks between 2022 and 2025, but lose 197 billion naira within the same period from other taxes such as value-added tax and company income tax from the manufacturers of soft drinks. The report added that introducing excise duty would cause the beverage subsector of the food and beverage industry to lose up to 1.9 trillion naira in sales revenue between 2022 and 2025 due to the imposition of the new taxes with simultaneous adverse effect on jobs and supply chain businesses. The Director General of MAN, Segun Ajayi, Kader also affirmed the consent of the report when contacted by a respondent. He said, I would like to say that the introduction of excise duty of 10 naira per litre on non-alcoholic carbonated and sweetened beverages, despite its potential overwhelming negative impact, is rather unfortunate. He stressed that the excise duty tax would affect the subsector, which has contributed significantly to the economy and taxes, despite the dilapidated effect of naira devaluation, inadequacy of forex, and the COVID-19 pandemic. He added that the government's revenue aspirations might not be realized in the long run. The revenue aspirations of the government in introducing this excise may not be justified in the long run. Let us look at it this way. The government is estimated to generate an excise duty of 81 billion naira between 2022 and 2025. From the group, this would not be sufficient to compensate the corresponding government revenue losses in other taxes from the group. He also said the move might lead to employee salary reduction, retrenchment, and general increase in prices of goods. This, he said, might put the product out of the reach of the poor segment. Also, the fiscal policy partner and African tax leader at PwC, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, expressed concern over the effects of the development on the manufacturing sector. He said, and I quote, I will be more concerned about sectors like manufacturing because their cost is rising and they are not able to increase their selling prices because the purchasing power is low. If you impose a tax because they want to survive, they have to cut down on employment and find a way to survive. In terms of inflation, when you impose maybe an excise duty or excise tax, if the sector is able to pass it on to the customers, it will be higher selling price, leading to inflation. But if the products are very elastic and you're afraid of losing the market, then you bear the cost and your margins will be low. If your margin is low, it means that you pay in company income tax will be less and your shareholders will get less in dividend, affecting their own purchasing power as well. So taxes sometimes have an unintended consequences which policymakers must always consider. Now, this is where we have found ourselves as a people and as a nation. I do not know how we're going to come out of this, but the common man's mineral, as we used to call it in Nigeria, we call it mineral. Mineral as in soft drinks. Sometimes you look at the costs of eating the healthy drink or healthy food. The purchase of these non-alcoholic drinks, beverages, seem to be cheaper. If you go to mechanic sections, you will understand with me. You agree with me that the regular meal there is one bottle of one non-alcoholic drink and bread, agege bread to step it down. Sometimes it's akara and bread, or granite and bread, or banana and bread with one soft drink. Once they take that one, they are strong enough to move for the day, depending on when the right money will come for them to move on. That is a common man's food, being the fact that things are really high. I don't know how this will come to bear, but definitely Nigeria is in for a rough ride.